Level up your hunting game and join the cause. Help preserve small-town Texas hunting culture and become a more successful hunter by learning the best ways to squeeze the most out of your budget and precious time out in the field. Welcome to the Feed Bandit Podcast. Here are your resident bandits, Richard Kinchlow and Jimmy Byrne.
Yeah,
I do have Chinese food on the way. Probably
Shut up.
Yes. Probably the next 15, 25 minutes or so.
Well, I think we can get that taken care of. Why are you, wait. Why are you eating so late? I mean, this is...
Oh, because lately we're not going to eat till the kids go to sleep. So we can actually relax.
Yeah.
And enjoy our food.
Okay. All right. Well, tonight Julie got some really nice little steaks at Sam's, I guess, and we had twice baked potatoes, which I'm like, oh my god,
I love those.
Oh, dude! So of course, I immediately go right for the center, and I put my mouth. I'm like, trauma. It's so right. blankety blank hot.
Burn it off like China Walk chicken.
Yeah. The chicken wings, yes.
Jeez.
Yeah, and then when she gets this big heaping pan of Brussels sprouts, which I mean, just God, I when I put them in the oven and they got a little olive oil in them and a little salt and pepper, God have mercy. So I destroy those. So I will be very windy later.
Well, that's a good segue into this episode, I think.
Yeah, it is. It is absolutely.
So I started recording.
Good.
Yeah. Howdy, folks. Welcome to back to the Feed Bandit Podcast. Just talking about I guess we're recording this on Valentine's Day, so we're talking about what we're doing for dinner. And I don't, depending on when I edit this, I'm getting Chinese food delivered anytime now.
Lucky.
So we're getting
now, let me guess. Well, first of all, have you eaten from them before?
Yes. Yeah, they're pretty good.
All right, pretty good. I mean, are we talking like China Walk good or come on?
No. I've yet to have any place that's that kind of good.
Unreal. Unreal.
Maybe the closest place in my mind is maybe Royal China, but other than that, it's other than that, if I don't get those type places, right, then I'm more of a fusion guy. So where you can kind of get maybe a little Thai influence on the Chinese something right. But I'm getting a Mongolian beef tonight. So
really? Now you're not getting okay, because normally it was the beef lo mein, and just go ahead and open up an entire gallon of soy sauce, please.
Right. I did order extra soy, so that
of course. They're like, nobody in the history of ordering out has actually used all the little packets, but this guy is. God, that is so funny. I have.
But speaking of, I mean, I was just gonna say, what do you crave after you eat a lot of Chinese food and soy sauce?
Oh, well, naturally, sun-kissed.
Well, other than sun-kissed, I was thinking,
water. Yeah,
like you got to put a hose directly in my mouth.
Oh my god! Yeah, no, there's no doubt. Oh, then of course you go and you pound 4 or 5 glasses of water, and then you become what?
Oh yeah,
bloated.
I always take my ring off before I eat.
Dude, there's absolutely. Or then I'll drink like 20 glasses of water, which I'm sick of sipping on some right now. And I'll get all comfy in bed, put my sleep mask on, get the pillow between the legs, I'm like ready to go. I'm like, here we go. This is good, adjust the mask, and then I gotta pee, and then sometimes I'm just gonna hold it. I don't care. I'm just gonna hold it. I'm just gonna hold it. But I will tell you what, to have water at your beck and call is a real luxury, and obviously that is something that in this country we always take for granted. I mean, God, we got water parks, places where you can get cholera still, like that great Coyote Lodge place. I got cholera there I guess it was last spring. Oh no. I mean, like literally, how you get out of a pool and you can kind of like feel your skin just feels weird. I mean, I could feel stuff on me, and you know me. I mean, I'll swim my own toilet if I had to. That place, it was awful. And I love a good cholera joke because it's one of those great diseases to say, or whatever it's called. Anyway, but having water, again, for us human beings, well, I guess here in America, I know that in Kenya and Nairobi and those other places, they don't have a lot of water, but man, let me tell you, it's just important for the wildlife as it is for us. And I think a lot of people say, well, especially here in Texas, well, it's most important in the summer. Well, and then that may be the truth. I mean, they obviously more animals drink a lot more during the summer months, during the warmer months, which, of course, summer, you can just go ahead and, let summer go from, June till November sometimes. But man, they need it now too. And right now, almost the entire state of Texas is just looking pretty crappy. We've been doing this show now for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, something of that nature. And knock on wood, we have been really blessed with the rain. But my co-host always likes to say, okay, we'll enjoy it because, the rain's going to stop. And right now, he's right. The rain has basically kind of ceased. And it's been extraordinarily frustrating.
It's been pretty dry down here.
Oh, I believe it. I mean, it's dry. It's
funny. I'll look at it. It'll be like, 50, 40 or 60%, or whatever. And I'm like, okay, good. So I'll make sure that I turn off the sprinklers and all that stuff.
Yep.
And it just doesn't rain.
No, it's crazy. So, and of course people are like, I think it's a common misnomer. We had all that snow and ice. I'm like, well, good. I lost a tree branch, blah, blah, blah. Well, I think they said that, that you obviously, unless you're in, Siberia or Russia, or I guess the same place where you get, or, somewhere you get a lot of snow and you get the runoff, a foot of snow is equal to about 1 inch of water. So, that icing, dusting 2 inches of snow we got up here. I mean, it just made a bunch of mud, but it really didn't really do anything. Now, at Rancho Bandito, I think we actually got about 1/2 inch. And I talked to my mother. This was pre-ice storm, and she said that it was real good and sloppy and muddy out there, which, God, I was just delighted to hear. He also said, they also said that, they saw a bunch of little greenery coming up. So, obviously that was extremely exciting. But man, water is one of those key things that you got to have. You again with the white-tailed deer, the animals in general, and of course some are more tolerant to it than others. For example, the quail. The quail needs flushing cover. It needs food. But one of the things that it doesn't need as much of would be water, because they get a lot of that from the groceries that it needs. But
however, the cover needs the water, so
indirectly. Exactly. So having a good constant supply of water is absolutely key. And if you're hunting in the state of Texas, again, one of the keys to having a healthy deer herd, having a healthy animal herd, is having water. So if you're looking for a place to buy, if you're looking for a place to lease, man, I just can't stress enough. You got to see what their water, situation looks like. And I would highly recommend, if you have the opportunity, if you're looking at a lease, you go out there in March, it could look a hell of a lot different come June or July, So, if you haven't pulled the trigger by June and July, maybe you should go out there in July and see what the water situation looks like. Again, you go out to a place you're going to buy, or you're going to, and who knows, the way real estate's going right now, nothing really stays in the market for long, but, figure out, okay, are these stock tanks, are they holding water? Obviously if they've got livestock, especially cattle, they've got to have good, constant and spread out water. I mean, that's kind of the key. If you're hunting on places 2,000 or 3,000 acres, they've got to have multiple tanks that will sustain the amount of cattle you have there. So I think that's real important that everybody kind of check that out and make sure that they're, that the place they're going to be buying or hunting has got a lot of water on there.
Well, they don't call it the nectar of the gods for nothing.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I wonder if all things being equal, if you were to buy land in a year that's that's not in a drought,
right,
that has more water, where someone would say, let's say you're buying land in a drought and you want to buy a place that has water in a drought.
right.
To me, that seems like it'd be more in demand than one that didn't have water, right? But
right.
if nowhere in that area has been in a drought for a while,
right?
I wonder if all things being equal, the land would not be more valuable than a land without. Does that make sense? Like, it's like,
yeah. No, for sure.
I'm just thinking out loud. Just kind of curious,
Yeah.
I doubt anyone's done a study of that. But.
No. I doubt they have. I doubt they have either. But I mean, you just can't discount it. People sit there and they say, okay, well, what about cover? What about protein feeders, things of that nature? What do the fences look like? Well, dude, man, you cannot go forward without water. So that's a big thing people have got to look into. Also, I think that this is also important as well. If you're leasing a ranch that's, well, even a couple of 100 acres, okay, and it would behoove you, and it would set you in really good graces with the owner of the property, or the leasee, the guy, or the person, the family who's running the cows, to take a lesson in livestock tank repair. Okay. And remember, I mean, when you're out there, cruising around, filling up feeders in the summer and whatnot, if you see a stock tank that's completely dry, their cows are in there, wouldn't it be valuable to be able to fix that for them right then and there? I mean, not only would you be doing a solid for the, for the owner, but you would also be doing an incredible thing for the animals as well. So, I'd also encourage everybody, if you've got the opportunity to, speak to your landowner, again, that's a value added thing, in my opinion. Money is one thing, but having somebody who's got some know-how, building some rapport with the landowner to show them, hey, listen, I care about this property. I mean, I know that, your livestock and the deer, they got to have an in sync relationship here. And a lot of that revolves around water. So I think it's real important that you try to learn that stuff. I mean, hell, if maybe even keep an extra float valve, with you. Who knows?
Well, I mean, people could also do what we've done is build some water kind of catchment things, guzzlers, if you will,
right?
Or buy them. We've seen some of those that are pre-built for some of the animals and whatnot. Ones that either go underground or other ones that sit on top, but they don't need to be, I guess, tue complicated.
Right.
We've experimented with some. In-house designs, if you will. Now, have they lasted? We could probably improve upon.
If we have more time and materials, we could definitely make them better. But no, you're exactly right. I mean, there's a lot of places out there that have got old barns, things of that nature. Even off your hunting cabin. If you've got a hunting cabin that's got a decent sloped roof where you can actually attach gutters to it. You would be surprised if you were to go out there and buy a 500-gallon black, needs to be black to keep the algae down, but a black polyurethane tank, and obviously if you can run the pipes below the ground, that'll help with freezing. But have a little float valve go into a trough. I mean, there you go. You've just had a water source. Obviously, if you've got cows there, you can fence that in to where you don't have to contend with them. But I think that there's a lot of things you can do, and you're exactly right when it comes to making little water catching devices. I mean, God, they're all over the internet. a lot of the real popular ones in Texas really don't even incorporate catches. They like kind of what Jimmy and I used to try to mess with. They're actually just these gigantic water totes, okay, that they paint them black again to keep down the algae. And when they go around and they fill feeders, they're filling up water too. And obviously the more you can do that, the better. And it seems to be they seem to work. They really do. A couple of things that you can do. Obviously, the larger the drinking part is, the more evaporation you're going to get. Okay, always something to consider. The other thing is, all of us have to contend with hogs. If you've got the ability to hog proof your feeder pen, do it. If it'll actually work. I see a lot of guys using bull panel. They'll put the smaller of the bull panel on the bottom, okay, and that does seem to keep some of the pigs out. Obviously you want to maybe put them up a little bit, but if they can dig underneath the soil, they will, to get there and to get that corn. And of course they're gonna nail your feeder, they're gonna nail your water thing too. But so kind of my thoughts are with that is that if you are going to make a drinker, make sure that the connection between the thing that's dispersing the water and the drinker itself are in the ground pretty damn good. Okay, because remember, you're going to have hogs in there and coons and whatnot will screw with it as well. But now that's a really good point that you brought up, Jimmy, having a looking at those things.
And it's fun. It was
fun. No, for sure. Absolutely.
It was fun to see them kind of deteriorate over time.
Yes. Yeah. No, they
it was interesting. We have good stories from it now.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Absolutely. But hey, they used them and they worked. They worked. The one thing I will tell you though, you got to be really careful. When we built ours, we just got some wood, some treated lumber, okay, and we got some corrugated steel with a gutter, okay, and then we had just a typical downspout that went. The first one we did was just a 55-gallon trash can, and I think it was that Brute brand that was kind of that thicker, that harder plastic, okay, and then we put at the bottom of it, we put a bunch of rocks to keep the wind from knocking it over. And it worked. It was great. One of the things that we found that was happening, though, was that it would overflow very quickly, especially with a good downpour. And when it would do that, obviously you'd have a lot of weeds and stuff come up around there. So, be careful, especially in the summer, because remember, your water sources is source for the deer and the turkey, but they're also for the mice and for the rats and all that kind of stuff. So naturally snakes are going to be attracted to that as well. So keep on the lookout for the serpents there.
Wear your snake boots.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and the old philosophy is or the old saying rather is, kick it before you pick it. At least that's what I've always said. Kick something before you pick it up, or you'll regret not doing it.
Kick it before you pick it. I like
that's that. Right. Kick it before you pick it.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, water's important. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And you just gotta hammer it home. And the other thing is that, in those really, really, really dry years, okay, if you've got, if you just, you got your place and it is what it is, you don't have a whole lot of water, especially in those early season, when you're deer hunting and whatnot, if of a big tank or something like that on the neighbor's property, I wouldn't hesitate trying to put a little tripod or, a little ground blind or something, maybe that leads into their property, not on their fence line, because that's just kind of crap. Okay. I mean, I hate fence hunters. I think it's inconsiderate and whatnot, but those are great ambush spots. People, people don't really think about it, but they definitely are.
Totally. That is a great, great idea. We at JB3, we have some blinds, several of them that are like that. I mean, it's just it's a highway coming off of some of these, ranches that abut on the sides.
Yep.
So I don't see anything. Whoop, and that's about the time that my Zoom crashed. So we couldn't record much more. I would have had to fire everything back up again, pan in the booty. So we're going to end it right there, folks. I just want to say thanks again for listening to the Feed Bandit podcast. Really appreciate it. Welcome back to those folks who have listened before, and welcome to some new hunters that are joining the cause right now. We really appreciate it. We always ask that, if you have anything you'd like us to talk about or comment on or whatever, please shoot us an email, howdy@feedbandit.com, so that we can get it in the queue. We'd really appreciate that. And with that, we just like to always remind you to support your local feed store. Take care. Thanks for listening to the Feed Bandit podcast. If you like what we discuss on the show, be sure to sign up to our email list to get even more killer hunting ideas, tips, tricks, and exclusive deals on innovative hunting gear and services delivered straight to your inbox. Sign up over at feedbandit.com or simply by texting the word bandit to 33777. See you on the next one. And remember, support your local feed store.